All right, hello guys. I'm going to give you my take on what's going on politically in the U.S. right now. Uh, the take I'm going to give you is historical. Um, and I'm going to go back in time a few short years, at least in my life anyway. President Johnson was losing ground, was considered totally awful, a miserable wreck, couldn't do anything in Vietnam, just a total disaster, as Democrats typically are. And I could have went one president before him, but I've chosen not to here. So he decided not to run, but he gave time for, and well, the reason why he didn't run was because of Bobby Kennedy. President Kennedy's brother decided he was going to run against him, and he knew he couldn't win in the primaries. So he bowed out. Bobby Kennedy was killed. And then I believe maybe it was George McGovern that they elected on the Democrat side. Nixon bashed him. I believe Nixon would have won whether Bobby Kennedy were in the race or whether he was not. Now we're going to step forward a few years. Nixon ran for re-election. He was getting us out of Vietnam with honor. Things were going great. This is not me politically leaning to the right or any, nothing's fantasy here. You can go look at the economic numbers and really figure this out. Things were going great. He bashed the guy he ran against the second time, and the second time may have been McGovern. He won every state except one or two. And then Nixon, we had Watergate, all these things. The Democrat Party was almost finished then, during Nixon going into his second administration. People were sick and fed up with that Democrat Party because it never produces anything decent, good, holy, or prosperous for any of us. It just breeds control and push down for everybody. And it marginalizes little groups to rile them up against each other to be able to pull from that voting pool to win elections. Or they just plain well steal elections, as we do know now for sure the Democrats have repeatedly done in the past. Not the last election cycle, not the past two election cycles, but many, many election cycles, and it's been proven. So I would suggest to all of you as well, go look at the Watergate situation and go look at the key figures involved in that and who turned on Nixon, and just really thoroughly examine that, and you'll see that there was a coup. Nixon was taken out, Ford was installed, and Ford was beaten in the next election. This is how these people operate. You go up to the 2020 election. I know I'm jumping here. They nominated Hillary Clinton, or the 2016 election. They nominated Hillary Clinton. They thought she was a shoo-in to win, not realizing that the only reason Barack Obama had won the past two times was because of skin color, not because of job-producing results. Obama promised freedom, less CIA, less war, and he increased all of those things. Just being factual here. So she got beat. There was a fix-in the 2016 election. There's been election fixes since FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and the old age thing came about because FDR was in office while we were sitting in the middle of World War II, which could have been won quicker. I'm not going to whitewash history for World War II like so many do. I had three uncles in that war, 4 uncles in that, 5 uncles in that war, and 4 of them were wounded really bad. One lost what would have been a great Major League Baseball career on account of it. So I'm not whitewashing a damn thing around here. I'm just pointing to you in directions and telling you to go read up yourself. Go investigate. You got the internet here. Deep dive in some of this stuff and you'll find the real answers. Because you are not going to get any answers on Fox News, NBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, or none of them. You're just not going to do it. And none of them are real news. They're all fake. So you get up to, they cheated in that election. They used COVID for the 2020 election. We now know that election was not fair and square. Don't want to hear about court. Don't want to hear about anything. They have found hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of votes that were either not legal or just the so-called ballots that they supposedly had just poofed and disappeared. No verification, no real person, no real nothing. Go investigate that a little bit. And this should piss you off no matter which side you're on. It doesn't make any difference about what side you're on. It should be one vote for one person. Everybody should be legal to vote. When somebody illegally votes, they cancel out somebody else's vote, and that's the real voter right that both these parties should be worried about. Specifically the Democrat Party, who are the thieves in elections. They're very good at that. Not good at anything else, but damn good at election corruption. So we had that. Now look at what we had. Well, I skipped a big one here. I'm going to go back real quick because I'm just an old man talking in general, and you pick these names out and you go look yourself. Reagan came into office. He literally swamped Jimmy Carter. There again, another no good Democrat, do nothing piece of junk. Reagan got in. He was going to get rid of the Federal Department of Education. He was going to get rid of a lot of federal agencies. And bang, bang, he got shot. And not many people are aware of this, but he almost died. We weren't aware of it at the time. We didn't know till well after the fact that Reagan almost died. We thought he got shot, went in, had a quick surgery, came out. And that wasn't the case at all. He runs against Walter Mondale, crushes him. So the Democrats are like, we got to figure out something to do here. Then you start getting a monumental amount of fake news input during the second Reagan administration, which exists to this day. It's just much worse. We've had several wars, one under Bush Sr. The CNN coverage of that was totally phony and fake. Go look that up. Desert Storm, fake CNN coverage. Go look it up. Don't take my word for any of this. So we've had a lot of problems. Getting up to very recent history here. They stole an election. They ran a brain-dead president. a dementia-ridden president in 2020. There's nothing new here. You go back and look at those old debates, he couldn't talk. He was been falling down, stumbling the whole time he's president, unable to complete a sentence, has more so of an idiot for a vice president, a prescription drug addict, Kamala Harris. You just go look at her. If you've known anybody that's been addicted to prescription drugs over your lifetime, I've known several. One look and listen to her and you get it. You get it. It's good places to go is down at the drug rehab centers and ask those folks to look at somebody for you. I'm just saying, they'll see it, they'll show it for you. I had a very close family member that died due to a prescription drug addiction, so I know a little bit about the mess. So I'm getting off point here, but you get up, they run a brain dead again, and all of a sudden 6 or 7 weeks ago, they're all of a sudden, hey, something ain't right here. We need, acting like they're coming out. They just find out that something ain't right with Joe Biden after defending him for the past 5 years, that he's been healthy as a horse, sharp as a tack mentally. All of a sudden, 6 weeks ago, they come out saying, oh, he's got dementia, something's wrong with him, and they all do it at one time. That shows you that the fix has been in on this. And but mind you, the whole time the primaries were going on, they kicked Bobby Kennedy Jr. off of the Democrat primary process. So there's nothing been open with these Democrats and these primaries. Don't kid yourself. Past 2 elections, deals had to be made with that communist Bernie Sanders, that piece of junk, who has been nothing but a sellout, never held a real job in his life. Of course he's a communist who would love handouts because he's never really had a real job. So finagling going on there, he gladly took it. He's a corrupt communist ass. So they have this, people are forgetting the primaries just ended on both sides, and all of a sudden now they're finding out. The Democrats could not find out, and they knew, but they were lying to us and want us to believe all of a sudden they just recently found out Joe Biden is demented, has dementia, can't think clearly. This close out to the general election and this close from finishing the primary they had, and it's just all a pile of mess. Then you put on it Trump got shot. Then you put on it today Biden is not running for re-election. Going to be an open process. So there's 2 things that are going to happen here, I firmly believe. Either Kamala Harris is going to be chosen as the fall person, and then they can rewrite history like they normally do and say, oh, Joe Biden was a great president. He just got sick towards the end there and couldn't continue. And this crazy mixed race lady got beat in a general election. It was a bad thing that happened. It wasn't by design, when in fact it is by design, and she's being set up to be the fall lady for this thing. Or we're going to see Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama get the nod at the convention without either one of them having had ran or having had to campaign one iota for their party. And this is the way those people are. They're no good. And I'll tell you something else too. I would look for another assassination attempt on Trump. It's come to my attention that at 8 o'clock in the morning, the director of the Secret Service is going to resign before she has to mandatorily appear in front of Congress. So she's going to go in there as a former head of the Secret Service. And we need to look at Alejandro Mayorkas, who has completely betrayed our country. And you can't trust these people. Half the people in the Republican Party you can't trust, and you can't trust a damn soul in the Democrat Party. And you can't trust a globalist or any of these people. It is really raining down here in Colombia, South America. I know you hear it in the background. This is really what you call tropical rain coming down right now. But I want y'all, don't believe anything I'm telling you. Go look at some stuff. Pick names out of the hat that I've talked about and go look at a little bit about what I'm telling you and verify this on your own. Tucker Carlson is a great source to go look at, who really extensively studied the Watergate situation and was totally shocked. Candace Owens has some good stuff out. Unfortunately, there's nobody that is on the side of the left or the Democrats that are going to give any good information out on anything, including the murder of their own John F. Kennedy. They don't want to know the truth. These people have completely lost it. So do your homework. I know I'm an old man rambling here, but I'm rambling in the hopes that I can reach 1-2 people that if they see this rambling, they'll go look and investigate on their own and then at least come to an educated conclusion other than going off of what the damn boob tube is telling you and your next door neighbor or the guy you work for and mess like that. You need to find these things out for yourself. If this up and coming generation don't find things out for themselves, we are all going to F around and really be found out in some bad things.